No man is an island. I'm learning new things about my Line 6 devices all the time, and every so often, I'll come across tips and tricks that you guys post on Facebook groups and forums, which got me thinking, what if you and I could build a preset together? To kickstart this, I asked for tips and tricks you guys use for your pod go on the community tab and over Instagram stories. Some of you shared tips and tricks, others shared their favorite tip that they've encountered. It all coalesced into live cam footage that you're about to see, where I put all that you've shared into one preset. And before we go to the live cam, this is the first tip that I'm going to recommend all PodGo users. Get a 2-button foot switch, a TRS patch cable, some Velcro, and attach the switch permanently onto the small space in this corner. Configure this for snapshot scrolling, and you have the ability to permanently live in foot switch mode and changing snapshots without the additional step of hitting the mode switch. For those of you who prefer having one preset per song, the 2-button switch can be configured for preset scrolling, which is more convenient than bending down and spinning the rotary dial. Now on to the rest of the tips. We're now in tweaking cam mode, and here is the guitar I'm using, a Gibson Les Paul Classic, the 2019 version. I've loaded up my Litty Retro front preset because the first tip we're going to try is this amp cap mic and overdrive kind of setup, which is pretty cool. Let's see what we have here. Let's go with the Kelly V30 4x12 mic'd up with 160 ribbon, slightly off the center and a few inches back. Let's change this to the 4x12 160. I'm going to move this slightly off and pull this back by, let's say, 3.5 inches. The rest can stay the same. I'm going to remove this block. That was a nice tip. I really like that. Let's go and change this to the Hedgehog D9 as recommended. Right, and I know this is going to be a bit on the harsher side of things, so I'm going to turn these down. But I do want the D9 to be like the a mid boost kind of overdrive. Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. So this tip is a must try. The next tip refers to the Glitz reverb, where I've been advised to bring up the pre-delay to 100 over milliseconds. And I'm going to try that right now. So we're going to go to the reverb, and pre-delay is down to 25 milliseconds. I'm going to turn it out to 100. Let's say 110. This means that the reverb takes a longer time to bloom out, and that might be the effect that we're looking for. Let's hear how this sounds like with more delay. It's a subtle difference, but with a longer pre-delay, what's going to happen is that the reverb will take longer to onset, and therefore the sound doesn't mush together as quickly as it would with the pre-delay lowered down. I say this tip is a must try. Next one refers to a legacy overdrive, and I think this OP has got the model wrong, because the one that is a color sound overdriver model is actually the color drive. So let's remember the settings: 25% on drive, bass 45, mid 50, treble 65, and level 70. Let's try that. Scroll all the way down and go on the color drive. Let's remember the settings: 25% drive, bring this down to 45, mids at 50, treble at 65, and level at 70. What do we get? Oh, nice. It's a grindier sound. Okay, it does have a fizzy end to it. As its name suggests, it's coloring the sound quite a fair bit. It's shifting the EQ around by removing some of that low end, even though the bass is at 45%. There is quite an aggressive low shelf being applied. And now it sounds a bit over compressed. So what if I remove the compressor? Can I make do without one? I think I can. It sounds compressed enough. I like how the tail end is distorting it just a little bit and it's grinding up just that ever so slightly. It's quite artistic. Combine this with the hedgehog. It's really got that Fender flavor coming out, which I really like. I'm going to put this as a preamp style pedal. That's pretty cool. So the verdict on this tip, it's a must try. The last one refers to a stereo chorus, but it's not being used for chorusing, it's used for fattening up. So this tip needs you to use a stereo Trinity chorus last in the FX chain. That's pretty interesting. With the LCR depth set to 10, boost set to off, LFO set to off. Unfortunately, with the pot Goat, it's only a single amp, single cap situation. Nonetheless, let's see what if we can get that magic stereo widening, fattening effect. Let's go to the mod section and a quick tip. The way to find the Trinity chorus is that it is the only rack effect icon in the whole selection here. So let's click Trinity chorus, move this to the last in the chain. As is, it should be a chorus sound. So what happens if we turn the depths to 10, turn off LFOs to make sure the boosts are off? This is with off. I'm still hearing some chorusing because the rate is up. So let's turn this rate down and see what happens. There's still some chorusing happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the mix all the way up. What do we get? Right, so I think I know what's happening. The Trinity chorus is no longer operating like a chorus. We're using like the preamp section of the chorus module. And if I turn this off, I'm going to get a lot less output, I think. It's off, on. Right, all right. Okay, I see how this is like. Now the color drive is thinning out the sound a little bit, but because we have this Trinity chorus at the end, and I think what's happening is the preamp module of the Trinity chorus is engaged. That low end is coming back and now it's filled out the sound to be a lot thicker and fatter. Let's have some delay on. I hope YouTube doesn't overcompress this audio to the point that you cannot hear the difference between before and after the Trinity chorus, but I can tell you it feels a lot bigger under my fingers and I really like how this sounds. In fact, I'm going to take away the FX assignments for here and here. I want the color drive to be like a preamp and I want this to be like a mastering tool. And that will leave me with quite a few switches to play around with. Eventually, it's going to end up as a preset in the free pack. So look out for that. Why is it going to be free? Well, you guys gave the knowledge for free, so I'm going to honor that. So not forgetting to end this off, this tip is a must try. ton of fun putting this together. Thank you to everyone who contributed to this first Crowdsource preset, and if you'd like for me to cover tips and tricks that I didn't do in this video, do comment below on how you're running your pot goal differently, any recommended effects that I should try, and they could be featured in the next Crowdsource episode. If you want to check out more preset tweaking videos, I have a series called Worshipify, where I take a non-Sunday service oriented preset and make it Sunday ready step by step. See you there.